Hello, welcome to episode 33 of Photowalk Talk, the Photowalk and Photography podcast. I'm Martin, and I'm not with Sandeep today. Sandeep is on holiday, so I'm joined by Anil Mistry. Hello, Anil. How are
Hello.
you?
Hi there.
Long
I'm
time
good.
no see.
I know it's been nice to we saw each other the other day, but no, it's nice to be on the podcast again. I'm Sandy 2.0. I've got hair, so I'm the improvement.
Absolutely. Well, we try not to have too much hair on the show, so it makes a change.
Well, you know,
I think my daughter saw a screenshot once of one of our podcasts, and she called us the Baldy Gang. I'm not sure I'm too happy with that name, but anyway, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Not working this week at the moment, so nothing in the diary. So I'm just enjoying the day. I'm actually getting my records together for a DJ night next Saturday. So I spent all day, that living room was full of records, and my wife was like, you've got to put them all back in the rack. So I've done a lot of record sorting, which has been fun, and just discovered loads of spiders behind the record shelf.
Excellent. Yeah, so we saw each other the other day, didn't we? We saw each other on Saturday. You had a Worthing photo walk. We're the only ones not going on the big film photo walk with Analog Wonderland. I don't even know why I wasn't booked on it. I just never got round to it, and then it was too late. And so, but then you put one on, and I thought, oh, that'd be good. I haven't been to Worthing in a while, and I certainly haven't done a photo walk down there. So it was. So we met up on Saturday. It was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a very last minute thing. I was doing a DJ thing in Brighton in Worthing, apologies, on Saturday, and I thought, well, I'm going to be in there in the day. Suddenly, I think I saw you guys. There was a post up on Instagram. I'd just forgotten to listen to the podcast for a while, so I started getting back into it. And I thought, oh, sod it, you know what? I'll see if I can do a last minute photo walk, having no idea about the one going on in London on the same day. But you came along, so that was nice, and we had a really nice wander, didn't we?
We did, yeah. It was really good. It was warm, but not like horrendously like it has been. It's certainly nicer in here than it has been. So yeah, it was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's been nice weather, but not too hot.
It's been a bit too intense for me.
Yeah,
on last Thursday or Friday, I just was out and about with a camera, and I constantly always just put the back of my hand on my camera to see how hot they're getting, especially the digital ones.
Mm.
And it was ridiculous. It was just baking hot. So I was walking around protecting it in shadow, and it just got too much. Summer's too much. I just, went inside and cried internally for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I've been mostly working, so it's all been in this room. So it's a nice, comfortable 31.2 in here at the moment, according to my little thermometer. Last week it was 35.4, and that's with fans on, the windows open. Yeah, it was unbearable last week. I'm definitely one of those people that moans about the heat, but I don't moan about the cold. I don't really get cold particularly. I'm always warm. I'm a shorts and t-shirts throughout the year kind of guy.
Yeah, it's that thing when you just can't go anywhere. You just want to lie in a cold bath all day, not go anywhere. It's just like, it's awful, especially if you're working.
Yeah, exactly. How many shots did you take on Saturday? I shot a whole roll.
I did a whole roll on the Mewtwo, and I actually finished a roll on this, which I've just got back into again. The Sure Shot Multi-Tele from Canon. It's the half-frame autofocus camera, and I'd just forgotten how much fun it was to play. It's just that thing, isn't it? I've been shooting a lot of digital lately, and just because of time, I just hadn't had time to shoot film, but it keeps hitting me the price of it. I'm not short of actual film. I've got a fridge full of film, but it's actually the developing costs. It all mounts up really quickly. So I've started to slow down a bit and be a bit more selective over what I shoot. But the half frame just makes me feel like I'm getting value, so I don't mind just cracking off shots and playing, so shoot half frame, people, you'll save money.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I took my Nikon FM2, which I haven't used. I can't remember the last time I used it. It was sometime last year, and shot some Cinestill 50D in it. Shot a whole roll. Well, almost a whole roll, because I think I lost a couple of shots at the beginning because I couldn't, for some reason, get it to load properly, and I kept opening the back going, why is this not taking? Suddenly forgotten how to load a camera. So I think I only ended up with about 30 shots in it because I wasted a load of them, but it was still, that's all right. For the first 4 months of the year, didn't shoot any film at all, but somehow I've managed to rack up a few roles since then. And so I need to, send them off to be developed and scanned.
Yeah, I've got the same. I've got about 7 or 8 rolls. It's almost bad when you let it mount up, because when you take them all off to be developed and you see the cost, it's just like, oh God, I hope I haven't shot any rubbish, which obviously 80% of it will be rubbish. So that's fun. But I brought my FM3A on the shoot, which, well, it's my favourite one to play with. And I had the 51.2. I think I was shooting Portrait 400. So I've still got a roll in there, which I haven't finished yet. I shoot a lot of street portraits, but I just wasn't in the mood that day. Also, we were together. I just wanted to chat with you. I hadn't seen you for ages. So it was nice to catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was good. And a couple of drinks in the pub, which was nice.
Yeah. You rediscovered Worthing, which is becoming a very, very cool town. And it's nice for me. I live on the south coast. I live literally in between Worthing and Brighton. So I've got both places nearby. And usually I end up in Brighton. But it was just nice to go somewhere else and sort of discover somewhere else for a day.
Yeah, and not really that busy, is it? Really, it was lovely, But it's compared to Brighton. I bet Brighton that day was heaving, I should imagine. But Worthing was just quite nice, not horrendously busy at all.
Yeah, I mean, when people hit the south coast, they normally go to Brighton because there's lots of things going on. But Worthing is really interesting because it's a little bit more genteel. It's a little bit quieter. Also, I think on that day, people were just staying indoors and reeling from the heat, really, from the few days before, and just they've had enough of outdoors, really. So it was nice. I remember we went on the pier, and the water was so still at the end of the pier, and it was super silent. There were fishermen out there fishing. It was just lovely.
Yeah, really nice. So other than our little walk on Saturday, any other photography been up to? Been anywhere else to do anything? Or has it just been working? And
been working. I mean, I've had a few trips into London. One of my sons lives in London now, so we catch up. And I enjoy it for selfish reasons, because we catch up in Whitechapel, and possibly my favourite curry place in the whole world is there. So we always meet up for curry whenever we catch up with him. So when we go, we usually go to a gallery or two and stuff and have a little walk around. So there's sitting on plenty of cameras, which I just collate and put together. I just haven't really done a big wander in London for a while, so that would be nice to do at some point. But then also I've been, it was nice actually because I haven't shot a lot lately. It just got me thinking of photography, and what was nice was I've done a book before with Fistful of Books based upon my hometown of Leicester, but Simon at Fistful of Books got in touch with me, and they put me in a new issue of their book Evidence, which is out now, people. I'll just show you a copy of it. He's an amazing publisher. There's lots of documentary and street photography work, publishing and photo books and zines and all sorts. So I'm in issue 2 of Evidence, along with some very, very good photographers and me. Greg Marinovich, Sebastian Franco, Jeremy Nicol, Homer Sykes, and Mike Goldwater. And it's stunningly printed. I mean, let's just look at this. For, I think it's about £17. You get 158 pages of photography and writing.
Nice.
And I highly recommend it, because it's a staggering thing that he's doing. And he's supporting loads of photographers. And it's funny, this is all really, worthy, important documentary stuff. Then after, very at the end, there's a whole piece on my work, which is my photography from on the streets of Brighton. But it got me thinking about photography and how a lot of this work is over a decade old. And it's, you need an amount of time to amass a number of shots and to just have the space in your mind to sort of mentally edit and sort of start to decide what is really good work.
Yeah.
And it takes time. It's like, I always think like a photograph is a bit like wine. It sort of improves with age, but also with age, you start to know which ones are the really solid ones. But it's also nice that the vilification, that he's picked out some which I thought were really good. Because the hardest thing is you sit in your own mind, you just don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't know what's good or bad because you have zero objectivity about your own work.
Yeah.
So it's nice when someone says, okay, I like this is good, and this is really nice. And to have it all together as a body of work, and also something that I haven't published, that's someone else has made. It's a really nice feeling. So I suppose, it's just nice seeing my work coming back at me.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, after a period of time. And, you do have to shoot a lot of work and you have to be out there just to kind of get nice stuff together.
Yeah.
So I hope that the stuff I'm doing now might have some value in 10 years.
I'm sure mine won't, definitely. Yeah. So if you send me a link to where you can get that, I'll put it in the show notes so that people can get hold of that, because that looks good. I might try and see if I can get a hold of a copy myself.
Sure.
Yes.
No,
Sounds good.
It does some great stuff there. There's so many interesting books, and he supports really interesting photographers, and it's kind of a labor of love for him. I mean, it's a tough world, printing, and if you've ever made your own zines or books and spent the money to print them, it's like you can't necessarily make money out of this stuff. You're doing it for the love, and you're doing it for kind of for the canon of photography out there. So yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you, Simon.
Yes, thank you, Simon. Good. Any sort of any ideas on any sort of projects you want to sort of start, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting on a commercial project. So there's an agency I'm working with, and I have a production company lined up to do all my behind the scenes stuff, but I'm just waiting for a brief. And it could be quite a big one. I can't say who it's for and what it is at the moment, but it's a lot of professional photography is just a waiting game. Sometimes you're up against other photographers. Sometimes, it's a budget issue. You just got to kind of just wait and hang around. But luckily my photography is not my main day job. My main day job is I work as a freelance creative director. So I come up with ideas basically to help people sell stuff. So that's been quite busy. And then I've been shooting. There's just stuff I've got that I simply haven't developed and done anything with. Also, I've got back into my music. I mentioned this earlier, but I used to DJ in the 90s. So I've got a big collection of jazz, funk, soul, disco, boogie on vinyl. And when you go through this period of having children that are teenagers that then grow into adults, I almost call it the lost years for yourself anyway, because all your work, all your effort, all your money goes into your children and getting them set up and getting them through school and all this teenage stuff they go through, and then university as well. And now that they've finished, it's started to open up a bit more time in my head for me to do other things. So I've rediscovered my vinyl collection, and it's been really nice. I've just started DJing at local pubs in Brighton and clubs and things, Brighton and Shoreham where I live, and Worthing. And it's sort of almost in a slight way, it's taken over from the photography a bit, because I'm now spending more on records than I did on cameras and film, but I'm not short of cameras. If anything, I've actually started to strip down my collection a little bit, which is something I never thought I'd do, because I'm a bit of a hoarder. But there were things that I love, but I simply was not using. So I'm slowly starting to sell them on. And also it gets a bit difficult when you have drawers. All those drawers behind me are full of cameras and lenses, all of them. And you get to a point you're looking through and it's like, you've got to keep them running, and they're mechanical objects, and you don't keep them working, they start to seize up and so on and so forth. So I'm just trying to keep them all active and alive. So I have been shooting stuff, but I haven't done anything with it. If anything, I like to do projects, and now that I've had a studio built in my garden, so I've been doing more portrait work and just building my sort of pro digital work as well, my lighting skills and so on. But nothing in the diary. That I might be doing another pub portrait project in a pub in Worthing, which a friend of mine runs, because I love that. Because the hardest thing is, especially if you're shooting portraits, if you're not feeling it, to go out and sort of ask strangers if you can take their portrait and all the conversation, and that's fun sometimes. But sometimes if you're not in the mood for it, it's difficult. Whereas if I set up a backdrop in a pub, a local pub, invite loads of people on for the day and loads of, regulars and customers and stuff. And they, pose for me and I just create a load of fun body of work. It's doing something for the community and I could end up publishing it as well. So I suppose I'm trying to do more, I don't know, produce projects, not the sort of off the cuff on the street stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm not bored of street photography. It's just I do a lot of it because I have spare time in between the day jobs. So when I'm not working, I'll just wander out with a camera. And you get to a point where you've seen a lot of your local town.
Yeah.
So we talked about this on Saturday. It's like the thing that makes photography interesting is having new things to look at. So I just need to venture further afield. Go to other places, basically.
Yeah.
Discover new things.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been trying to do a bit more of that this year. I went to Oxford for a photo walk. I've been to Liverpool a couple of times now. I love Liverpool. So it's another one of these great. It's not massive. You can walk around it in quite a small bit of time, but there's plenty to look at, plenty to take pictures of. Really nice city, Liverpool. But there's lots of places like that. So I want to try and get to a few more places that I haven't been. And there's so many places in the UK alone that I haven't been to. I've only been to Scotland once, so I need to try and go out a bit more.
Do you do day trips, or if it's a long way away, do you do day trips or overnighters or?
I do a bit of both. So if it's not too far away, I'm quite happy to go there and back. I mean, I did Amsterdam once in a day. Just I got the first flight out in the morning, just went round and round it, taking loads and loads of photographs, and then came back on the last flight home, and that was great. And then I did a photo walk in Liverpool last year, and I just went up the night before, stayed in a hotel, and then did a photo walk, and then came home in the evening. So yeah, I'll do a bit of both. Quite happy to go up and back in a day.
Yeah, I think for me, going somewhere, it's nice to ideally have a couple of days, especially if it's over, say, a 3-hour trip, because you eat up so much time of the day traveling.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And it takes half a day just to get your bearings, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is true.
And, to get into the mood and to properly do a city, you need a whole weekend, really.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, yeah, I need to do that. I just need to get away somewhere else. When I can. It's just a challenge for me because of the nature of my work. I never know when the next job is coming. Yeah. So I kind of generally have to be around near home, but yeah, I've got to work on it. Oh, that's the other thing I did. I've been working with, did some work with, so locally in Brighton, there's a mod clothing shop called Jump the Gun, and I've started doing a lot of photography for them. Model shoots and stuff in my studio and on the streets of Brighton with a reportage sort of look. Some of that ended up in a copy of a magazine called Detail, which is a magazine for modernists, for mods basically. But that was the issue that was edited by Paul Weller. So that was really nice. So he asked for some particular pictures that I'd done to be in there. And so it's been nice doing stuff for clothing. And off the back of that, there's a shoe company based in Northamptonshire called Solarwear. So it was a bunch of people who took over the old Doc Martens factory there, and they made it into a cooperative. So I've been doing some shoe and boot and model photography around for them as well. So a lot of this stuff sort of sits in that intersection between sort of it's commercial work, but it also has a very street angle because I'm out on the streets and doing stuff. So for me, that's a sweet spot because it sort of has style in it, but at the same time, it's in real environments. And I love shooting off the cuff like that because sometimes studio shoots become, when you're doing professional shoots, you've got models, you've got stylists, you've got makeup, and it becomes very much a sort of production. Whereas when you're out and about, it sort of suits the energy I like to put into shots, and you can just find spots of sunlight on the fly. I like that way of just wandering around. It almost becomes a street photography shoot with models, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That sounds good. Yeah, I'd like to do a bit more. Well, not a bit more. Some project. Try and work on a project. I've never really done any kind of project stuff. It's all just been, I'll go out and just shoot whatever I see that takes my fancy, and it's just a hodgepodge of just nothingness most of the time, and just like there's a bit of this and a bit of that. I've never really done anything that's even slightly cohesive, and I'd like to do that at some point, but I probably won't end up doing it more than likely.
Well, I think for stuff like that, because it is hard, because I think what's important is that you do something in an area that you enjoy. So
Yeah,
whether, for example, if it's buildings and architecture, or if you're into cars, find car meets and go there and have a think about little simple things. Because also, as you know, it's like, I know lots of professional, like proper documentary photographers, and they play a very long game with their work, and I simply
yeah,
don't have the patience for that or the time.
yeah,
I know people who will spend 5 years capturing one thing, and then they'll end up making a book. And for me, uh, you know, I'm 56 now, and in 5 years I'll be 61. And the idea of spending 5 years doing one thing, that's not
yeah.
me. I don't have the
No,
patience for that.
yeah,
Or the attention span. I just go from one thing to another. So I like to just come up with silly ideas for punchy projects. So,
yeah,
for example, the pub portrait project thing I was thinking of doing. I've done it before in a pub in Shoreham, and they asked me to do another one. And I thought it might be nice to just do people and their pets, because there's always dogs in this pub, loads of dogs.
right.
So I just thought of the film Dog Day Afternoon. I thought it'd be brilliant to just call it Dog Day Afternoon, have people with their dogs whilst they're holding a pint, trying to
Yeah,
fiddle with their dogs, and the dogs are struggling and not looking at the camera. And the fun
yeah,
of that could be really
yeah.
interesting. And you'd knock it out in a day.
Mm,
You sat there in a pub, people come and pose. And also I like the fact, again, when the community gets involved. So it's not just something sitting in your own mind. Other people
yeah,
know about it. Other people talk about it. So in the past, when I've done books and things like that, I'll print them, and people in them will want to buy a copy. They'll end up sitting in the pub as well. And also I always do a little bit of money for charity as well, up through the sales or whatever, a local charity. So it just creates this nice circularity, where the photography has a purpose. Because sometimes lately I've done it. I've been, spent a decade and a half wandering the streets with a camera, and I get just not bored. I've seen every patch of light at golden hour, and I know particular windows and places and things, and you start to go through this repetitive mode, and I just need to change it up.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to do any other photo walks this year, or is it too early to say?
No, it's funny because after last, I just hadn't thought of doing one because I'd just been too buried in work.
Yeah,
And I've had a lot going on this year work-wise. But I love doing photo walks. I don't know if I'll do a larger one, because I think that I did one where I had 35 people in Brighton, and it's great for the people there, but it was just it becomes a sort of very big people management project. And
yeah,
I was walking an army of photographers around Brighton, and it can look quite oppressive, all these
yeah,
people wandering around with cameras. So I cleverly planned it out. So we worked point to point, let people just spread out and do their thing, and then come back and go on to the next point. But when it got to that scale, I just felt like a tour guide. I had no time, weirdly, on that night. The actual photos I took were on the 17-minute trip from Brighton to Shoreham, where I live, as the sun was going down, just through the
yeah,
window of the train. That was the actual
yeah,
time I had to take pictures. And don't get me wrong, I love the socializing bit, but it's an
yeah,
exhausting day. I think
yeah,
for
yeah,
me, I'd like to do maybe smaller groups, 10, 12 people, and just keep it tight. I think everyone, yeah, I always end up feeling bad if you've got a big bunch of people. I feel like I should be talking to everyone, but obviously they're all grown-ups. They're getting on. They're there for the social aspect as well. They're making friends, so they're happy. But I always
yeah,
feel like I should be ticking boxes and saying hello to everyone and doing the social butterfly thing. So I always come away feeling a bit lacking. But I think people definitely get something out of it.
definitely. Yeah,
You know.
yeah. No, I like to keep numbers small as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing any photo walks, actually hosting any photo walks myself this year. I'm sort of taking a little bit of a break from it. I'm trying to go on more people's photo walks. So like, I went on a photo walk in Oxford, like I said, with Dave Sadler, who was doing his first one. So I want to sort of get out and sort of meet some of the organisers that put stuff on photowalk.me. So I think I'm signed up for one by the guys who do another podcast whose name suddenly completely escapes me, but I'm doing one of theirs. So that'll be good. So I'm trying to sort of meet some of the people that do the photo walks on photowalk.me rather than doing my own. I don't think I'm very good at doing actually running photo walks. I tend to seem to manage to get lost every time, even though I've been there millions of times. I think, hold on, why am I going down this road? This is the wrong road. Or I never feel like I'm doing it justice. So I'm sort of trying to sort of just do other people's. But I'm definitely still going to be going on photo walks, but just not hosting any this year, I don't think.
Yeah.
But by next month, I'll change my mind.
It's that thing, isn't it? You suddenly have a lull in what you're doing. It's like, I could do something. I have an opportunity. Make the most of it. Yeah, for me, it's like with a photo walk, it's having a sense of structure, but nothing too rigid, because you want to let people go out and do their thing. And also, for me, we talked about this on Saturday. That thought about I don't charge for photo walks, so so far I may do it in the future. I don't know. But all the walks I've done so far, I haven't charged for, because for me it's a community thing. It's just, for me, it's a day out, and what I get out of it is meeting new people. So it's there's a nice sort of thing going on there. But I have considered, like, it's that thought of what would someone pay for a photo walk? And it's funny when I think of myself. I think, why would someone pay £10 to visit me and go on a photo walk with me, when actually it's not about that. You're paying £10 to go on a social event. It's not just a photo walk. They're paying £10 to spend a day meeting new people, making friends, geeking out with cameras, learning skills, making new contacts. So, and that's the price of a pint, frankly.
Yeah,
it is in Brighton. So it's not a biggie. I suppose for me, the other thing I worry about is if I'm charging people, then they, my worry would be someone would complain, I don't know what I got out that day. And I'm like, I don't know what to say to that. It's like... So it's a difficult one for me to get round, and I think it also answers that big question of how do you make money from photography? But for me, the photo walk, at the moment, I see it as the social thing.
Yeah, me too.
If I end up busy in my diary and it's eating up a weekend where I could have been doing other things, I might charge just for my expensive. Like I said, it might cover my cab home. At the end of a long day. But I'm not going to make money out of it. For me, it's just a little value exchange, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like the same, really. I've never charged for one. I always think, I'm not sure if I can justify it being free, you know what I mean? So when I do them, I think, oh God, what am I giving value for money, even though it's free? But there are definitely, and people, people are more than willing to pay for a photo, as we've seen in all over the place. And I think people are, like you say, £10 nothing these days, really. The value is, meeting new people. I've met so many people through photo walks, and it's great. People I call friends, like yourself, I've met through photo walks. Sandeep, obviously, I met on Twitter, and we first met on a photo walk. Loads of people that I still speak to all the time. It's a great thing, and free or paid for. It's they're worth doing. So it's like you say, it's time as well. I mean, I'm currently working 6 days a week, so I only get 1 day off a week at the moment, and as a contractor, I have a week off in the summer, and I have a week off at Christmas. I have about 2 weeks off a year, and currently working 6 days a week, so I don't have a lot of spare time. It's trying to organise a photo walk around that, and all that other stuff is quite difficult at the moment. So just trying to find time to go on other people's of it.
I just had an idea. It's the challenge with me is with most photo walks happen on a weekend, right? But there's a lot of people who don't work every day. And a lot of people who work, like me, freelance or have random free days. How about photo dating? Okay, it's Tuesday. I've got 5 hours free. I'm in Brighton. Who fancies meeting up for a quick photo wander and a pint?
Yeah, do you know what?
That
is, I actually had that planned, sort of thing planned for the website years ago. I just never got around to I couldn't quite work out how to implement it. It was exactly that. It was, you could just put on, I'm going here at this time. Does anybody want to join me? So rather than having a sort of like a formal photo walk where people have to sign up, just a thing we could put it out there. Said, look, I'm going out in a couple of hours for an hour or so. Does anybody want to join me? And I never got round to implement it. I didn't quite know how to implement it, but it's definitely something. I thought was a good idea, but just never happened. Maybe one day I'll put on there, because it is. Sometimes you do. Because I sometimes go out on my own, and then you should think, well, actually, do you know what? See if anybody wants to join me, or if anybody's in the area, especially if you're going to somewhere that you don't necessarily know very well. If you happen to be, because a lot of people go to places on business trips, and you've got a few hours spare. So if you're going to a city where you don't really know anybody, you could just say, look, I'm in this city for a business trip for a couple of hours. Is there anybody else here who fancies, going meeting up and going out and taking some pictures? And that person who lives around there might be able to show them around. Yeah. Might revisit that.
Yeah. It's almost like you could have the idea of a notice board.
Yeah.
Where people can pin and drop little things. I'm here on this day at this time if anyone wants to meet and hang out or whatever. But then I suppose you get to that whole metadata thing of, do you do it by day, by hour, by city, by...
Exactly.
Or just let it be random. Just see what happens.
Yeah. I'll have to give that some thought. It's definitely a nice idea, I think. How well it'll work, I don't know, but I have to give it some thought again. Yeah.
Get on it.
There's lots of things I could possibly do. It's just finding the time to do it, and the return on investment, unfortunately, is
Absolutely.
Thought I'd mentioned, as we've I've been talking about this for a while on the podcast, is my ongoing project and failure to sell my stepdad's cameras. So if anybody's been listening to this podcast for a little while, I'll know that my stepdad left behind a large collection of about 300 cameras, mostly a load of old rubbish, a few okay ones in there. He had a Nikon FM2. He had two. One that I borrowed years ago and never gave back, and then I found another one which did manage to sell. But yeah, I still haven't got round to selling any of it yet. My mum is sort of buying a new house. She's moving to be near closer to my brother, and that could be happening any time now, and she's still got boxes and boxes of cameras that I'm supposed to be dealing with, and I haven't. So I've really got to it's finding the time. I honestly thought, because I know loads of photographers, I thought I can get rid of these no problem, and I have not managed to do it at all. So yeah, that saga is ongoing at the moment, and it's hard work.
Here's a thought: just set up a photo walk, £15 each to come along, and you get a free camera.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah,
take your pick from the bag.
Yeah. Blimey, I'd need to take massive bleeding bags with me. Right, okay. Yeah, it's not a bad idea though. I mean, I have to start charging for photo walks, but you get a free Agfa isolette or whatever it is, and you might get a good one, and you might get a rubbish one.
But at least you'll have a prop to put in your living room. Yeah, this
is true. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. So by the looks of it, I might have to clear out some space in my garage to store these cameras, because it doesn't look like I'm going to get them sold anytime soon. But I need to get my finger out and get some stuff on eBay. I don't really like dealing with eBay.
It's a pain in the arse. It's the commission, and then also it's just dealing with other human beings, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because even if you put on, look, I don't know, it's sold as seen, don't know if it works, you at your own risk or whatever, people will still buy it and then try and send it back, and you've got no recourse over it. eBay are very much the buyers are
buyer's boss.
Yeah, and if they want to send it back, even though they said it was, they will, and you've got to deal with all that nonsense. Yeah, I think that's why I've been putting it off, is I don't really want to deal with eBay, but I'm going to have to start doing that soon, get rid of it.
I suppose there's things like Facebook Marketplace, but then you run the risk of meeting people in your area. I'm just always wary of people. I'm so wary of people.
Yeah.
So how can I do this without involving myself meeting other people?
Yeah. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But Yeah. No, I've got to do it. My mum's getting very agitated with all this. I mean, she's cursing him at the moment, going, "Why did he leave all this stuff behind?" Oh dear, he just, I know, it's all just stuff from charity shops. You know, I mean, how he managed to accumulate the number he has, I really don't know.
I totally understand. You see all those drawers behind me. It's this is what men do.
Yeah. Yeah. So my mum says to me, "You're getting just like him." I said, "But kind of, not quite." So I tend to be a little bit more selective about the stuff I buy. You know, I don't just buy anything that I see. I'm much more selective. I definitely haven't got anywhere near 300 cameras, and I can't see me ever getting to that point. But yeah, never mind. I've got to deal with it at some point. I'm going to have to just bite the bullet and do it.
Goodness me. It's not even as if they're like, you know, if they were K1000s or, you know, modern proper SLRs, but they're these sort of compact things with the brown leather cases that, and they're very, very basic cameras.
Exactly.
Which,
I mean, I've got a box in out here. I've taken one of them, and I've got a Canon E1 and a Canon A1 with a couple of nice Canon lenses. They'll probably sell all right. I just haven't got around to doing it. All I've got to do is just take some pictures and put it on eBay. It's not that difficult. Yeah.
But it is, you've got to do the same picture 60 times, haven't you, in your case?
Well, this is true. Yeah. Oh, no. Right, I've got to stop moaning about it and get on with it.
Yeah.
Right, so I suppose I'd better list some photo walks that are coming in the next month. There's not many on there at the moment. I think because of the big film photo walk, it's analog photo walk, should I say? It's not. It's been a bit quiet, but a few more are starting to appear. And I think as the summer comes along, more will come on. Last year, it was quite a good year. In August, there was lots and lots of photo walks. I'm hoping we'll have the same thing again this year. But at the moment, there's just a few listed for the sort of like next few weeks. There's a London Pride Parade photo walk in London, obviously, on the 4th of July, 11:45. I haven't been to London Pride in years. I've been a couple of times and got some really great photographs and had a really good time. But I always forget it's on, and somebody will just say, "Oh, you know, it's London Pride today." And I'm like, "Oh, crap! I'm doing something else."
It is amazing. A few years ago, I was commissioned by BT to photograph London Pride for them, so I was in the parade and just was able to walk inside the barriers just all day, behind the scenes and everywhere, and it was just absolutely amazing. I suppose the challenge for days like that is crowding, and there's the infrastructure of London and the travel and the faffing. I mean, this is why Brighton Pride is really good as well, because it's big, it's colourful, and it's not London. So it's a bit easier to get in and out.
I'm trying to think. I went to Brighton Pride. Was it last year? It couldn't have been last year. It must have been the year before. I can't remember now. But so I don't tend to, weirdly, I very rarely see the actual parade itself. I tend to sort of go outside of it because there's loads of great stuff going on around. So I sort of go and have a look at the parade quickly and then go off and wander around and you see so many great sights just around it, around the parade. So, especially in London, if you just go into Soho and there's loads of people just having a fun time, and drinking and stuff like that. So, there's I'm wondering whether or not I can go on that 4th of July. Don't know if I can. But there's also Bill Smith is doing a photo walk in Toronto, from the Rooster Broadview to the Wren photo walk. Bill Smith does lots of photo walks in Toronto. That's on the 11th of July. And then Ben Cottingham, who I've met before, is doing the Brighton Summer Colour Hunt in Brighton on the 26th of July. I might try and see if I can go along to that because Ben's been on one of my photo walks. I might try and see if I can get on his. So that's all that's on there at the moment.
Is that Ben who works in the world of cheese? I'm pretty sure that's Ben. Yeah.
That is.
He's a really interesting guy. He's always got I bumped into him one day and with some crazy camera contraption he was playing with in the centre of Brighton. Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Yeah, he offered up a prize for. I was for a little while. I was doing these photography challenges on the website, and he offered up a big cheese package as a prize for one of them. It was great. And Dave Sadler, who did the Oxford Photo Walk, he won, and he said it was great, lovely. Yeah, that
Another
was good.
thing for if you're planning on visiting Brighton, I was just trying to find out where it is. It's the Brighton Mod Weekender, which happens every year, and that's always
Yeah, I think Ben's doing a photo walk for that as well. He is, yeah, Brighton Mod Weekend. So I hadn't put it on here because it's not till August, but yeah, he's already put one up for the Mod Weekend on the
Brilliant.
30th of August.
Yeah, I
so
can
Ben's
see.
doing
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
27th. It's the weekend of the 27th to the 30th of August, but that's always
yeah,
worth a visit, folks.
yeah,
You'll see loads of amazingly dressed people. All the bikes are out,
yeah,
and everyone's in sort of mod mode, which is definitely worth a visit.
yeah, definitely. Excellent. Right. Well, that's yeah. Those are all the photo walks currently. So not many, but if anybody out there fancies doing a photo walk, put one up there. It's really easy to do. You don't need any qualifications or anything like that. Just need to know where you're going, which I quite often fail at. Get us lost all the time. But nobody seems to mind. As long as you get lost in interesting places, nobody's bothered. And as long as you can find your way back, you're all right as well.
Yeah.
Excellent. Brilliant. Well, thank you, Anil, for coming on and taking Sandeep's place for the week. It's been great to have you on and to talk to you again. Thank you. That's it for this episode. Thank you for listening. If you have any comments or questions, please email us on podcast@photowalktalk.net. Make sure you subscribe to get new episodes as and when they are released. Thank you, and bye-bye. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.